Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin, I'm a geek, you are watching Kevin the Geek, and welcome to the final episode of Dave Gorman's important astrology experiment. This is the second full series of Dave Gorman that I have completed. Of course, we've done Are You Dave Gorman, sorry. This will be the second one. Technically, I've done one other thing because, I mean, that was basically the Dave Gorman's Google Whack adventure, but that was a one-time thing. So one episode and that did it. There's definitely one thing which will be similar to that I'm planning on doing at some point in the new year, which will be I think it's Dave Gorman's America Unchained or something like that, if I remember rightly, which again is one episode, which I think is about an hour long. What I am going to be doing next as my kind of tie-in with Dave Gorman is not quite Dave Gorman itself, but it will be his friend Danny, who of course we've seen in a couple of different things, and that will actually be a Patreon request. And that is how to start your own country. So I don't know if I'll do that all in one go, or I don't know if I'll do it weekly or monthly. I'm yet to decide with that one. But yeah, that will be something that we'll look to do in the future. But for now, let's check out the final episode of Dave Gorman's important astrology experiment.
This is Dave Gorman's important astrology experiment.
Hello, my name is Dave Gorman. I'm still a Pisces, and welcome to the sixth and final part of my important astrology experiment. Throughout the course of our experiment, I have rigorously obeyed my horoscopes. My twin brother, our control experiment, has ignored his. Whose life is the happiest? That's the question we're asking. To answer it, we have to measure happiness. To do this, we have an astrologically balanced jury of juries here, 12 groups of 12 people, each comprising one of each and every star sign. To guide them, we have a panel of 3 experts in the fields of love, health and wealth. A ménage à trois of TV wisdom that puts question time to shame. When we left you last week, our graph was looking like this. As you can see, 33 days in, and astrology has made me minus 759 happy. I'm not in the triangle of delight, but at least I'm not in the triangle of gloom. We can draw no conclusion at this stage. There are only 7 days to go.
Literally on the
Nick,
line.
are you ready?
Ready?
Panel, are you ready?
Ready.
Jury of juries, are you ready?
Ready.
Then let the experiment begin.
I think the only way he's going to get up into the Triangle of Delight is he's got to have a big win, like a lottery win or a scratch card or a betting, because that's really how it's going to be, is with all these finances, isn't it?
Now, on day 34, astrologer number 17, Bridget Wolfer, said,
Be low-key Saturday evening and make it an early night.
Nice.
Which is odd, because day 34 fell on my birthday. I did go out. After all, my girlfriend Greta had organised a small get-together. Around the table was Greta.
Happy birthday, Dave.
A mate of mine, Danny.
Happy birthday.
Hey!
Another mate of mine, Nathan.
Happy birthday, Dave.
And, of course, me.
Happy birthday, me.
And we were having a jolly time, as you can imagine. After 34 days of rigorously obeying my horoscope, I had seen precious little of Greta. Greta seemed to think that I was taking the experiment too seriously. But I should have cheated a bit, bent the rules. Of course, as we all know, you can't take this kind of science too seriously. Greta wasn't happy. We had a bit of a row. Luckily, my good friend Danny was there with a video camera to capture the moment forever.
He's gone home.
It's his birthday. Where's he going?
He had to have an early night, didn't he? He can't even have a good night on his birthday. So, I don't know.
Oh, she's not happy.
Fine, let's do it. I don't care. He can come home, that's fine.
Do you want a drink?
Perfect, mate. Just like, I don't care. Do you want a drink?
On day 35, I was hoping things would take a turn for the better. My first instruction came from astrologer number 19, Web Wombat.
unofficial colours are army green and khaki.
Easy.
Khaki?
I wore army green and khaki all day. But there weren't just colours from astrologer number 19, oh no. For the first time in a long time, I thought the world of astrology was doing me a favour. It was exactly what I wanted to hear.
You may need to seek relief. Sexual pleasure with a loving, willing partner would be ideal.
At last!
Let me guess, you weren't happy.
At last, I was excited. But Greta hadn't come home. I rang her as soon as I could, obviously. Her mobile was turned off. I got the distinct impression that I was still being made to suffer for my commitment to this experiment. I was concerned. If this carried on, there was no way I would get into the Triangle of Delight. Mine or anyone else's. Greta didn't come home that day. It looked as though sexual pleasure with a loving, willing partner wasn't going to be possible.
Right.
But astrologer number 19, Web Wombat, had that possibility covered.
Right.
You may need to seek relief. Sexual pleasure with a loving, willing partner would be ideal.
Yeah.
But if this isn't possible, go for a long walk, run, followed by a hot bath.
I could have had sexual pleasure with a loving, willing partner, but instead I get to wear army green and khaki, take a long walk and have a hot bath.
I mean, that's a long walk. At least he's well rested from the night before, isn't he? Oh, quicksand.
To be honest, you lot don't really need to film.
I was about to say. Yeah. Luckily, he's got Danny on hand to film him having a bath. And then Mike as well.
On day 36, my horoscopes told me that my lucky number was 30. At the same time, astrologer number 16, Gordon Vincent, had this instruction.
Be at one with nature today. If you live in the city, pop down to the park and feed the birds.
Right.
While astrologer number 11, Mystic Meg, added,
A man who dresses in his own stylish but unusual way will bring some special luck into your world.
Okay.
I live in a city. It was obvious to me that I had to pop down to the park and feed 30 birds wearing the fashion of a man who dresses in his own stylish but unusual way. But who? Who did she mean? Who is there that dresses in his own stylish but unusual way? It isn't for me to make that kind of decision.
Elton John.
I decided to put it to the people. This was the most popular answer. I'm trying to find someone who fits the description. It's a man who dresses in his own stylish but unusual way. Who's the first person that springs to mind?
Elton
How
John.
about Chris Eubank?
Chris Eubanks.
Chris Eubank.
Say Chris. Say Chris. Say Chris. 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 You. Bang.
We asked 50 people. Of those 50, 17 people went for Chris Eubank, putting him in first place. 12 people said David Beckham, 10 people didn't know, 6 people went for Jonathan Ross, 4 people said Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen, and
Yeah.
one man, my favourite, said Eamon Holmes.
Okay. Okay.
But the people had spoken. The people had chosen Chris Eubank. So I hired myself a Chris Eubank outfit.
Wow.
And then I popped down to the park to feed 30 birds. Not 31 birds, not 32 birds, but 30 birds. Now, not everyone has a widescreen TV. If you haven't, you might not be able to see everything on this screen.
Right.
The last thing I want is people at home thinking I'm inventing pigeons.
Thank you.
I don't want to go through that again.
Again.
To make sure they all fit on everyone's television, there they are. Now, let's count them. Well, there's a little one up there. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So close. Yes!
There Well, she's happy now.
Well, that's how days 34, 35 and 36 panned out for me. But let's check in with the control experiment. Nick, how did you get on?
On day 34, Tracy's mum babysat while Tracy took me out for a birthday meal. On day 35, I took the kids to the swings. On day 36, I took Amy to the wacky warehouse, and I also did some guitar practice.
OK, sounds lovely. Well, let's see what the panel make of the 3 days. Remember, we're using the metric pleasure decimal gladness system of voting. Every point is equal to £1 sterling. That's approximately 1.7 euros. Our expert in love is the wonderful Denise Robertson. Denise, please tell us, how are we faring in love and friendship?
Well, boy, oh boy, are the chickens coming home to roost now. Greta is gone, and I don't want to be a party pooper, but if the control had not had flu last week, you would be sleeping with the fishes in the sea of gloom. What you ought to do now is go down on your knees to Greta and get her back, and forget all this.
OK. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, 3 days' worth, please cast your love votes now. Remember the order, you vote for me before the control experiment, me before Nick. OK. While the votes are being calculated, let's turn to our expert in health, Dr. Hilary Jones. Hilary, how are we doing?
Well, Dave, Nick's had a nice, normal, healthy family life for the next few days. He's over the flu and he must be feeling really good again. You, on the other hand, have had this great long walk in the country, but I'm afraid it's a very poor substitute for a bit of horizontal jogging with I would have preferred you to have been happy that way, really.
OK. You stay away from Greta. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please cast your health votes now. OK, now, Alvin, what are the figures?
Your brother is the most frugal man I have ever encountered, spending only £46 on his birthday. You, however, whether it was dressing up as Chris Eubanks or pursuing nature, publicly or privately, spent £62.
I mean, is it frugal to really not spend on your birthday? I mean, from my experience, a lot of times I see, like, if people go out for a meal or something, it's often that the person whose birthday it is doesn't pay. Like, the amount of times I've been out with friends and stuff and we go, all right, so it's John's birthday, for example, and right, there's 5 of us, so the other 4 of us will pay a quarter each and we'll cover John's share. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
OK, well, let's see what the computer has made of it all. Let's put all the figures together and see how we stand. Let's see how you have voted.
Love plus health plus wealth equals happiness.
Ooh!
Well, there you have it. I have minus 28 for love compared to Nick's 106. For health, 33
minus
points.
191.
Quite high for a long walk, I think, there. Nick has 74. For wealth, as we just heard, I'm minus 62. Nick is minus 46. So the end result is that our control experiment shows I could have been 134 happy, whereas in actual fact, I am minus 57 happy. So, following my horoscope has left me 191 points less happy than I would have been. Let's see how that changes the graph. Stop! Stop! OK, well, there you go. It's gone down, but it's not so bad. We're still in the void. We're further away from the triangle of...
So if that's literally like minus 191, like that, I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. So what? I'd say at this, by my very, very poor calculation skills with literally my fingernail trying to calculate it, I'd say he'd probably need a swing of about 1,400 to get into outside. So yeah, he's going to have to win really big money-wise, because there can't be any other way, surely.
Delight, but at least we're not in the triangle of gloom. Now, on day 37, astrologer number 8...
He's got 4 days left.
...said that...
Improvisation lets you dance away from trouble.
OK.
Which meant that
Greta?
first, I had to get myself into trouble.
Oh.
And to dance my way out of it.
He's a doofus.
But to be honest, I didn't really feel like I was in any real trouble. I knew this was time to bring back the box.
The box? It was? That's either something from an earlier episode which I've completely forgotten about, or something that I've not seen of Dave's that doesn't give me any reference. If anyone knows what this means, please let me know. Oh, it's a man with a pixelated face. He's gonna hit you. He's gonna hit you.
There was one more horoscope on day 37 that still interested me. The experiment was nearly over. I'd given it my all, and the column of astrologer number 13, Claire Petulengro, seemed to be summing it all up.
You really don't do anything by halves.
She was right. I had taken the experiment very seriously, and at times it had got pretty extreme.
Yes!
Queen gracious, our safeguard.
Brilliant!
I've been introducing the speculum inside you. Approximately 2 inches.
But she
Yeah,
had
clearly
more
must
to
have forgotten
say.
about the box.
A better option for your life can be found if you put your finances as the main focus for a change.
Yes, see?
There were 3 days left, and I was nowhere near the Triangle of Delight. Astrologer number 13, Claire Petulengro, was clearly telling me that I should concern those final 3 days with my financial well-being. Now, you may remember in part 1 of the experiment when I told you this. At the start of the experiment, I looked up a website called luckydays.tv. That website tells you your lucky days for gambling based on your astrological details. My best days for gambling fell on days 6 and 40 of this experiment.
Aha!
I had gambled on day 6. I had placed a bet on the footballer Trevor Sinclair, on the grounds that he shares my birthday. It follows that, astrologically speaking, my lucky day should also be his lucky day. And it was. He scored the first goal, and I won £460 as a result. I had to try and repeat this success. Trevor Sinclair plays for West Ham. West Ham were not playing that day.
Damn it.
I had to look around to find another sportsman who shares my birthday. But which sport? I looked back through the experiment for clues, and then I remembered day 26. I was told, luck's in a case, not opened in a year. I'd gone down to a lost property office and looked through some old cases. I found this. A golf tee and a golf ball. Is there a professional golfer who shares my birthday? There is. Ian Woosnam. I thought about Ian Woosnam, and I knew it was meant to be. The golf ball I'd found on day 26 was a sign, in more ways than one. It says M-R-W. That's right. It was monogrammed M-R-W. Did it once belong to someone with the initials M-R-W? Or, more likely, was it telling me to gamble on Mr. Woosnam? So, would Ian Woosnam be competing on day 40? He would. He'd be competing in the Dubai Desert Classic. I knew that on day 40 I had to bet on Ian Woosnam in the Dubai Desert Classic. But that was for the future. Because the next day was day 38, a day when astrologer number 16, Gordon Vincent, said...
You'll be surprised at how good you feel after a good session at the gym.
I love this little montage. Every time it gets me.
On day 39, number 13, Claire Petulengro, said...
Long-distance travel is favoured.
The woman who told me that I should look after the financial side of my life was now advising me to take a long journey. Where should I go? Well,
Dubai.
This was day 39, and I knew that on day 40 I was meant to place a bet on Ian Woosnam in the Dubai Desert Classic. It seemed to be the obvious choice.
Yeah.
I got on the first plane to Dubai.
Oh, how much was this?
Obviously, I could show you some footage of me in Dubai, but there isn't time. You'll just have to trust me. What I can tell you is that by the time I got there, it was bedtime. I was exhausted by the journey, but I wasn't allowed to rest. Astrologer number 15, Hilary Todd.
You might well be tired, but before bedtime, take some strenuous exercise.
Luckily for me, there was a gym in my hotel. It was late, but they let me in. I think you'll be able to tell from the dress code that I was indeed in Dubai. Well, there's one day to go, but it's time to check in with the control experiment. Nick, how did you go?
I took the kids to the swings on day 37. On day 38, I watched Liverpool play and they beat Newcastle 3-0. On day 39, I worked the day shift, so I didn't really see the kids, but I did go for a run.
OK. Denise, tell me, what do you make of it all?
I've gone through the looking glass here. Reality has faded. Only the mention of Newcastle getting beaten to a Sunderland fan like me is keeping me in this seat.
OK. Might depend on your football allegiances. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please, cast your love votes now. Hilary, what do you have to say about it?
Well, your brother's had loads of exercise, so he's feeling really good. You've been to the gym a couple of times, looked absolutely exhausted, and you've nearly been run over 3 times.
OK, ladies and gentlemen, please cast your health votes now. OK, and finally, Alvin, how do we score financially?
I don't know whether to cry with you or cry for you. You are down 606 pounds compared to your brother, who spent only 59 pounds.
OK, well, let's put it all together. These are your votes.
Yeah, in theory, it's got to be about
plus
two
health plus
2,500 he's got
equals
to win,
happiness.
I think, to be able to get into the triangle.
Well, I
Yeesh.
could have been 112 happy, but in actual fact, I am minus 534 happy. So astrology has actually made me 646 points less happy than I could have been. It is not good news for astrology. But let's bring the graph up to date. No! Stop
No,
it! Stop
no,
it!
no!
Fuckers! Well, there we are, minus 1,596. It's not good.
So about 3,000
I
then.
awoke on day 40 with one task on my mind. I knew I had to place my bet on Ian Woosnam. You know, I'm getting the distinct impression there are a few people in this room who doubt that I actually went to Dubai.
Funny that.
But that's where the Dubai Desert Classic was being staged this year.
Yeah.
They seem to get it every year. And long-distance travel had been favoured, so that is where I went. Here I am, if you don't believe me, arriving at the tournament. And here I am, watching Ian Woosnam practice.
There you go.
That's me. There he is. The man. I say watching him practice, I mean stalking, obviously. Now remember, according to my horoscope, this was my lucky day. Ian Woosnam shares my birthday, so presumably it was his lucky day also. I had a lucky golf ball that was clearly meant for Mr. Woosnam. I knew I had to pass it on before I made my bet.
Mr. Woosnam, can I drop you for an autograph? Thank you very much. I've got a good luck token you can have if you want.
Give me something, anyway.
It's a lucky ball and a lucky tee.
Right, put it in the bag.
They're very special.
Hope it's lucky.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, mate.
Seems so delighted.
He's got the ball, he's got the tee. It's his lucky day, it's my lucky day, it's getting even luckier. Fantastic.
This was the last day of my experiment. I decided to take every lucky number my horoscopes had offered me along the way. Here I am, adding them up.
1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4,
5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 10, 12, 12, 12, 14, 14, 14, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 18, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 58, 59, and 59.
I added them all up. It came to 2,903.
I've added them all up. It comes to 2,903.
I decided to bet 2,903 on Woosnam.
Oh!
Not pounds, you understand? That would be madness.
Oh!
No, I was in Dubai. I decided to bet 2,903 dirham.
Ah!
Then I discovered a big problem.
Right.
I was in Dubai.
Right.
Gambling is forbidden.
Oh, yes! Yeah.
So I made a quick phone call.
Hi. Look, I can't talk long. I'm in Dubai. I need a really big favour. Yes, Dubai. You've got to go to a bookmaker's for me, and you've got to bet 2,903 to win his match today, converted into pounds, on Ian Woosnam. Look, I'll pay you back. Cheers, Mum. All right.
2,903 dirham is £549. The tournament wouldn't be finished for another 2 days. So I couldn't bet on him to win the whole thing, but I placed my bet on him to win his match that day.
Okay.
He was playing with Colin Montgomery and Thomas Bjorn.
Oh!
I followed his game all day. We weren't allowed to take our video camera onto the course, but this is the official footage of the tournament that you might have seen on satellite TV.
Okay. So, realistically, by my calculation, he's got to have him at odds at least 5 or 6 to 1 in order to make his bet to get to what I've got in my head logically as being the right sort of figure.
There's Woozy there. And who's this in the background? Yes!
Yeah!
That's me! Here's another cut. There you go, that's Thomas Bjorn. And who's this in the background?
Hey!
Who's that cheeky little rapscallion? That's me, that is. Here's another one, that's Woozy on a different tee. Who's that in the background?
Hey!
Yes, I think you'll find that's me. Nick, what did you get up to on day 40?
I went for a run, and then I stayed in with Trace and we watched a film on TV.
OK, well, we're running out of time. We need to move quickly. It's only one day. Denise, a word for Nick.
Perfect.
A word for me?
Poor.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, cast your love votes now. Hillary, a word for Nick?
Balanced.
A word for me?
Unbalanced.
Vote now. Alvin, how's the maths?
It depends on how your bet turned out.
I'm glad you asked me that, Alvin. For the first 2 days of the tournament, Ian Woosnam was grouped with Thomas Bjorn and Colin Montgomery.
Yeah.
The day before my bet, Woosnam was beaten by both Bjorn and Montgomery.
Right.
Bjorn not only won their match, he was leading the whole tournament. The form book wasn't on my side. But that meant I got good odds.
Right.
6 to 1. So, how did he do? Well, the lucky ball obviously did him some good. He raised his game and shot an admirable 4 below par.
Okay.
Was it enough? Well, it was good enough to beat Montgomery, who was 11 shots behind with a disastrous 7 over par.
Okay.
What about Bjorn? Was 4 below par good enough to beat Bjorn? The day before, Thomas Bjorn was 5 below par.
Right.
On the day of my bet, Bjorn was 5 shots behind Woosnam, 1 over par. Woosnam won his match that day. I won my bet that day. Was I? Was I a happy man?
Denise isn't though.
Yes, I was. Or was I?
Well, I mean, what was it? 590. So let's say a round figure about 600. So that'll be 3,600 plus his original say back. So he would have earned ballpark figure £4,200 ish.
We need to know how the votes add up for day 40.
Love plus health plus wealth equals happiness.
Well, there you go. So, £549 at 6 to 1 earns me £3,294. As you can see, I am 3,297 happy. And I would have been only 68 happy if I'd ignored my horoscopes. Which means that by following them, I have gained 3,229 happiness points.
Come on.
Yes, I was happy. I think.
Do you think?
I hope. It's a lot of money.
Can we actually see the
It
betting
looks like
slip?
it will be close, but
I
your
want to see the betting
vote
slip.
will be crucial. Let's add these figures onto the graph. Come on. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on! Get in there! You beauty! Yes! There you have it, ladies and gentlemen! I am in the Triangle of Delight! After 40 days, I have proved, beyond the shadow of doubt, that astrology is the right way to live your life. Come on! Get on this stage! Join the party! We no longer need to take any responsibility for our own lives. We found a better way. I could not have reached this proof alone, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank you, the jury, for playing your part. I'd like to thank the panel for their expert guidance. Right, and I'd like to thank my control experiment, my twin brother Nick, for what in the light of what we now know appears to have been a very noble sacrifice. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the knowledge. Use it wisely. Astrology works. QED. My name is Dave Gorman. If it's in the stars, we will meet again.
Oh, and Denise is just like so happy. It's like, I can actually go home now. I don't have to deal with this shit anymore. Oh god, I knew. You just know, because Dave is such a good storyteller, and I reckon there was definitely some episodes where they've maybe just tweaked the footage a little bit to make it go in a certain way, because I mean the reality of the situation, realistically, financially, that is the thing that did it all, isn't it? So I mean, I wonder whether he'd done a couple of other bets kind of things and just kind of face it, because we didn't actually see that betting slip, did we, of the golf? So we have to take his word for it, you know, because I mean, I'm sure that Ian Woosnam won. I mean, I don't know who Ian was. I know who, or more I know of Colin Montgomery from my time working in the betting shop. A lot of people really liked him, but the other two, I ain't got a Scooby. I'm more of a snooker and football man myself anyway, but there you go. Well, it was stupid. It was ridiculous. But I loved it. As I always do with Dave Gorman. I absolutely love Dave Gorman. Like I always say, he's a great storyteller. And regardless of whether he's manipulated some of the stuff in a way to kind of make the TV show good, to give you those sort of like peaks and troughs and stuff, I don't care. That's what a good storyteller does. They will tell the story in a way to make you go, oh, yeah, oh, maybe, oh, you know, they'll manipulate your emotions to make you feel in a certain way, you know, and that's the mark of a good storyteller. If you're writing a book or if you're physically telling a story, either way, the principle is still the same. So yes, that is the end of our not Are You Dave Gorman? I always do that. Dave Gorman's Important Astrology Experiment. The longest title of anything I've done on the show, and thank Christ that that's over, because I don't have to do that anymore. My word. So yeah, let me just find it. I've got it in my folder here. I've got it saved here. Where is it? Yeah, Dave Gorman in America Unchained. That's what I've got, which is a one-time video that I'll be able to do at some point, which is, it's an hour and 15. So yeah, just over an hour. Then I've got, so Danny, who again you saw in that, he did a 6-part series called How to Start Your Own Country. I'd always thought about potentially doing that anyway, but when I started the Patreon, I gave a couple of people the option to choose something as a guaranteed reaction. This is what was chosen, and of course, you know, it was only one episode, but I can't do one and then not the rest. So we'll do all 6 episodes of those. So that's Danny leading it. So it'll be interesting to compare, see what Danny's like as a presenter compared to Dave. Now, the other things I would like to do, Dave Gorman wise, so I just have to move my head to be able to see my computer screen. He's done, let me just bring up his page so I can quickly find it. Yeah, so his early stuff, oh, I actually didn't realise this. It's not something I ever really watched, but the Mrs. Merton show, I know more because I know that Caroline Aherne basically played an old lady in it. It was basically like a spoof chat show. Maybe I'll need to have a look at that at some point. But he was apparently a writer on that show. So he did Dave Gorman. Dave Gorman's Astrology Experiment. Dave Google Adventure. There it is, Genius. Right, yeah. So 2000, was it 2007? Oh no, 2010 actually. Yeah. So there was the pilot was recorded in November 2007, but the first proper episode was 2010. So let me just bring that up. So Genius is a comedy game show on BBC Two, adapted from the original radio series. Members of the public submit a range of unusual ideas and inventions for Gorman and guest celebrity judges to decide whether the idea is genius. First series began airing March 2009, following the success of an unbroadcast pilot. Second series was done. Genius was axed after the second series by the BBC. When asked on Twitter if it was coming back, Dave Gorman said, "Afraid not. There are currently no plans to bring the show back." So yeah, so there's 12 episodes of that. And looks like there's one guest judge, at least the first series, there's one guest judge per episode. So you've got Catherine Tate, Frank Skinner, Jonathan Price, Johnny Vegas, Jermaine Greer. I don't know who Jermaine Greer is. I don't think I recognise her. And then Stuart Lee. Is that? Oh no, I was thinking of Stuart Francis. No, don't think I know Stuart Lee. The first 4 I definitely do. And then series 2 there was multiple guest judges for that one. So like the first episode, for example, Russell Howard and Hazel Irvine. So yeah, I would really like to watch that because it sounds really intriguing. The problem is it's trying to find it. It's not as easy to find. I mean, I'm literally quickly looking. So if anyone can help me, if you've got anywhere that you can really find it quite easily, then definitely send it my way, and I'll definitely want to try and watch as many of them as I can, if it's all possible. This sounds really interesting. So yeah, that is going to do it for today, for this first episode, of course, of Dave Gorman. Of course, later on today on YouTube, it will be Dave Gorman's Modern Life is Goodish, of course. That will be back for his next episode later on today. If you're watching on Patreon, I'll be doing them on 2 different days. So if you're watching this one on Patreon right now, then it'll be tomorrow that the Modern Life is Goodish episode will be coming out. So that is all I'm going to do for today. Thank you very much for watching, as always. And for now, my name's Kevin. I am a geek, and you've been watching Kevin the Geek. Goodbye.